So I have an older brother and a younger sister, so I'm the fucked up Jan Brady of my family. And growing up, I was kind of a loner. I didn't have a whole lot of close friends. And my parents, I think they saw this and they compensated by giving me toys. Lots and lots of toys. So many toys that we had a basement, or we had a room in the basement of our house that was like the size of my bedroom. And it just had these blue Rubbermaid tubs, and they had like He-Man and Hot Wheels and G.I. Joe. So I had all these toys, but I didn't have anybody to play with. My older brother Casey, he like had his own group of friends, didn't want anything to do with me. And sometimes I would play with my little sister. Now there's one toy that was not kept in the basement, and that was my sister's Barbie doll collection. Those were kept up in her bedroom. On occasion, I played Barbies with my sister. Here's how it went down. We'd always start by divvying everything up, and I always got the best stuff. Like that's the only condition under which I would play. So like I always got the sparkliest shoes and the newest dresses, and always the red Barbie Ferrari. And we played Barbies on and off until I was about 11 years old. There's this one weekend where we were having a Barbie blowout extravaganza. The Barbie universe had stretched all the way out of my sister's bedroom, down the hall to my bedroom. We played all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning we're in my sister's bedroom, and my mom, she calls for me to come to her room. And my sister, she looks at me as if I've done something wrong, but I don't know what it is. So I walk down the long, dark hallway to my parents' bedroom at the very end. And they're inside, they're up on the bed, they're watching CBS Sunday Morning on mute. And my mom, she motioned for me to come and sit with her. And I sit there and I listen while my mom, she told me that I'm getting to be too old to play Barbies with my little sister. And my dad, he's completely quiet during this entire exchange. And like, I knew that it was him. You know, here's this very masculine son of an army colonel, and all he really knew about his son was that he didn't have many friends and he liked to play Barbies. So I went back to my sister's room and she said, "What happened?" And I said, "Mom and Dad don't want me to play with you anymore." And that was the end of our story. Eventually, I went away to college in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the center of the universe. And there wasn't a whole lot to do. Like the male to female ratio was 5-to-1, but they did have these fraternity houses. And my freshman year, I wound up pledging a very heterosexual, homophobic, misogynistic frat house. It was great. I was a horrible frat boy. I couldn't drink, I couldn't smoke, and I have like the worst hand-eye coordination. But like I loved hanging out with these guys. Every summer, a couple of guys would stay back in the house, and that's exactly what I decided to do the summer between my sophomore and junior years. Now, at the beginning of the summer, my very good pledge brother Sasquatch was this really tall, hairy, Neanderthal-looking dude, and he smelled really bad. Like we even had we called this odor the X Factor. It doesn't have anything to do with the story. It's just kind of a fun detail. But so Sasquatch, at the beginning of the summer, he bought 2 ounces of weed. And every single day we would get blazed and play Star Wars on his Nintendo 64. And one day he turns to me, he's got this really deep, gruff voice, and he grunts a lot. He says, "Why don't you put in that videotape?" I brought back this camera, we called them camcorders back in the day, and all summer long I had gone around filming like bits and pieces of parties that we had and like conversations with brothers. And I was curious to see what it looked like. So we popped in the tape, and we're high as balls, and we're sitting there and I'm analyzing what I'm watching, and I'm listening to the brothers hurl like homophobic references my way, and I'm listening to my voice, which I think sounds a little high-pitched, and my hands are like flailing around, and it's like a light switch just clicked on in my brain, and something that I had never thought of ever. And I told myself, I'm gay. And then the next thing that I told myself was, no, I'm not. I'm gay, no, I'm not. I'm gay, no, I'm not. And it was this conversation that I had in my head for the next 2 years of my life. I couldn't tell any of the brothers for fear of being ostracized, and I certainly couldn't tell my parents because I was certain they would stop paying for me to go to college. So I didn't tell anybody. Well, eventually I graduated and I moved out west to California, where it's not only okay to be gay, it's encouraged. I got a job, and I got an apartment, and I got a boyfriend, and eventually I decided, okay, it's time to tell Mom and Dad. So I went home for the holidays, and we were sitting in, my dad, he drove a Suburban, and I'm in the back seat, and they're in the front. And I said, Mom and Dad, I have something that I have to tell you. And my mom, she's a very concerned Jewish woman. She said, are you sick? I said, no, Mom, I'm not sick. And my dad just jokingly, he said, you're gay. And in my mind, I had never played it out this way, so I didn't really know how to react. So I didn't say anything. And my dad, the next words out of that man's mouth were, that's okay. You know, hear this like really tough force that I had been afraid of my entire life, who I was certain was going to like punch me in the face when he found out, like kick me out of the car, never ever want to talk to me again. Like he reacted the complete opposite way of that. And everything was okay. But years later, it occurred to me that I never thanked my sister for her involvement in this massive development in my life. And so I sent her a card, and inside I wrote down, Dear Brenna, had I not played Barbies with you as a kid, I probably wouldn't be gay. Thanks.